excellent end to the weekend. The 15-inch drill press is complete and actually working. In fact, that drill bit in there right now is the original one when I first picked this up. Everything's been taken apart, cleaned, polished, de-rusted, everything. I decided not to do a repaint, at least at this time. So this is, for the most part, all original, no touch-up in terms of painting. Original being, nothing has been altered. So I'll pan up and down. I'm a big fan of the Wen base because that allows mobility. Doesn't take up a lot of room, and pretty decent. You can see the table came out quite nice, and I'll do some close-ups as well, in addition to some side views and such. So I'll do off tripod, on tripod, off tripod. So back in a second. A better close-up of the base. Came out really nice. Paint's kind of effed, but it is what it is. And then in terms of the table came out great. These were, again, the original couple of drill bits, and I did fill the holes that didn't go all the way through. These didn't go all the way through. This one actually did, and I don't think I'm going to use that, but what I did put in these 3/8 inch holes was a hex bolt. So I did that in both, as well as that is a drain plug, and that's a 5/8 inch 11 pitch thread drain plug. So that was built into the table. These were not. And again, bits came out great. You've seen that before. Handle, I think you've seen some of the close-ups. The degree of rust and cleaning, again, you can still see because I didn't soak some of the rust again, but when you look at how clean this is compared to what it was, this was just a total rust bucket everywhere. That took some, everything came out, was polished. I decided not to blue these with any type of agent. Again, everything taken apart. And for the motor, again, things taken apart, cleaned. The side view, again, I love that base in terms of the mobility it provides. Quill came off. Everything came off. Clean, polished, and I need to clean it a little better, it looks like. Or my fingers were dirty when I was putting things back together. Oily. But again, everything cleaned, oiled, blown out, wire brushed. Challenging. This was so rusted. You can see the pit. Can't get the pits out, but it's polished. And again, when it's dark, I'll show the light and then bring it back inside, and you can see it running, hear it running, see it running. But it just came out great for what it was. And this is a testament to the stand and I guess the weight distribution of the unit, because I've probably got a 20+ degree decline on my garage driveway, and most of the weight is back here, but everything did clean up just incredibly nicely. Let me get a shot of the table up close. That cleaned up really nice. And again, all the metal after it was cleaned and reblued, and then I did anchor the base into the stand because I don't want to have anything falling over. But again, everything cleaned, polished, derusted as much as possible. Again, really happy with how well things cleaned up in terms of the rust. I mean, the quill wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. This actually came out, or I pulled it out. And if you recall, this was just terrible. But yeah, everything, these were pulled out. Now it looks like I've got some oil to clean up. But finished product. Very happy with it. So in addition to the table raising and lowering, it does rotate nicely now. Noisy, but it works. Again, so much rust, but really happy with the final product. All right, so we're going to call this. This one is complete, and on to the next. I'll actually weave in the light, turning it on, watching it, hearing it, and then the light probably inside the garage. We are back in the garage. It's more evening-ish, but given the time change and everything else, it is still light out. So, as you recall, that was the original drill bit, and from earlier today, that was the drill bit that was in, and it looks pretty, what's the right phrase I'm looking for? Square, I guess. I mean, the drill chuck is hitting the square, but it doesn't look like I've got, you know, weird run out, which is obviously not visible. Let me see if I have a piece of wood. Not readily available. So I don't want to damage my. But that's looking pretty good, and we'll flick our light on. In fact, let me turn off the ambient lights, so that it's a lot darker. And I don't know if you can see, but that's, I'm happy with that. And I will pull out that LED bulb, put in the original bulb, so you can see the pretty big difference. Pretty big difference from, I'd love to know what year this bulb is from. This is a 40 watt incandescent. Can't see where I'm going. There we go. It's a lot warmer of a light. Let me go back to lights out. Not really, still got ambient light coming in from the garage windows. But it's a much warmer light, like a reading light. And, you know, again, a nice warm light. that will get nice and hot. I'll leave that off, and the bulb's already warm. That's the beauty of LED. No heat transfer. And this should be a much colder, brighter light. Very. So for working and wanting to see clearly, I would say this is a better light than this bulb. All right, let's put a hole in a piece of wood for the first time ever in my ownership. So for you all, this will be pretty, I'll leave the light on, pretty anticlimactic because it's just a piece of wood. I love how the table rotates. Get that up there kind of closey close. Good enough. It's always a little challenging when the camera is right in the way. Lock the table. That's not going anywhere. And I'm looking into clamps. And I've got this particular vise, which in theory I could use, but we're not going to do that for tonight. The first hole. It feels good. And I'm curious. Well, that shows you how off-center I lock the table in. Front to back is centered, but right to left is not, obviously. So let's do that. Let's center that table. Lock that in. Can't go any further back, but what I can do is unlock the front so that we can twist it around, and that should be relatively, emphasis on relatively, centered. Not a precision machine device, just a cool device. Again, there's my 5/8 inch, I'll call it drain plug, with a rubber stopper and a nut on the bottom, or rubber something or other. Where am I going? I'm gonna do that, and I'll lock that in, or at least. All right, the beauty I like of this is it is so freaking stable, whereas the 10-inch drill press, which you've never even seen, is not. And I'm sure I could make it more stable by bolting, mounting, whatever. But this is the cool factor on this is just off the scales for me. Again, I think this is the childhood memories of walking through Sears outside of Chicago growing up, looking at the tools, seeing all this cool stuff, and not having it. Parents couldn't afford it, and now in my old age, I buy the beat up rusty ones and restore them. All right, that is it